When the first cryptocurrency was mined more than a decade ago, not many people knew how important it would grow to become. Today, several top brands are accepting it as a means of exchange, and it has made millionaires out of thousands of people. Still, there is a hidden threat to cryptocurrency, and it may have a huge effect on how trading these coins will be like a few years from now. What exactly are these threats? You're about to find out in today's video. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. And now, let's talk about the future of cryptocurrencies and those threats that could snuff it out of existence. The move towards centralization. Yes, cryptocurrency runs on a decentralized platform and is one of the major perks of trading in this blockchain network. But here's what most people don't know about Bitcoin mining. Most of the farms are located in one country, and that's none other than China. What this means is that this country has as much as 65% of the current Bitcoin mining hash rate. So, how is this a threat to cryptocurrency? Miner centralization is bad for blockchains. Cryptocurrencies like blockchain are what we know as proof of work, which means that miners propagate blocks using hashing power. While doing this, they are also securing the network, and the legitimate transactions are decentralized. When the network is decentralized enough, no single entity would have more than 50 hashing power on the blockchain. The moment it becomes more than this, they will be able to force through their view of the state of the blockchain, which can be incorrect. In other words, this is a civil attack where the miners can double spend on transactions to carry out what is known as the 51 attack. This is where the real danger lies, and you realize that it is possible for informed Chinese miners to take over the Bitcoin blockchain. You can imagine how risky it is for a country like China to have all that hashing power, and how these miners can run a double spend attack if they are directed by someone with huge control over the economy. Then again, how likely is that this risk would actually happen? Well, we would have to consider if there is any real benefit to the Chinese government if they decided to do this. A decentralized blockchain should be pretty low on the list of worthy targets for any economy of that size. If they really wanted to cause financial havoc, they have that power with trillions of dollars in US debt in their grasp, and even more of that in their reserves. They would just have to dump this on the open market, and it would have a major impact on the dollar. So, it would be a pretty pointless exercise to attack cryptocurrency, but that doesn't eliminate the fact that this threat exists. Decryption with quantum computers. Here's another threat to cryptocurrency that we may come across sometime in the future. For those who may not have heard of quantum computing, here is a little breakdown. Qubits are held in superposition in quantum computers, and these use quantum principles for calculations. This is much different from modern-day computers that work with the manipulation of ones and zeros. The summary of this is that quantum computers are great for solving problems super fast, and we're talking about 100 million times faster than supercomputers. Knowing that supercomputers are the most advanced computers in existence right now, you will be able to understand the power of quantum computers. With this kind of power, then you know that these computers could crack encryption systems with almost impossible to solve algorithms, and it would probably take just a day. All it needs is to run a brute force attack. Since Bitcoin and most cryptocurrencies are built on these advanced cryptographic algorithms, then a quantum computer can be used to carry out a brute force attack and expose your sensitive data. A quantum computer can crack cryptocurrencies by first trying to guess your private key. Usually, these are encrypted with elliptic curve cryptography, but with enough power, this computer can extract the private keys from your public keys. Public keys are not that difficult to find since anyone can get them from your crypto address. So, the quantum computer would use Shaw's algorithm to extract this key and ultimately gain instant access to your funds. You can keep your funds safe to a large extent by never reusing your addresses. Regulation from banks and governments. If there is one thing governments hate, it's seeing something thrive independent of their power. They would at least want to have some semblance of control, and they don't exactly get that with cryptocurrency. It's one of the reasons why they aren't fans of this digital currency. Sometimes, central bankers and government regulators make us think that they are finally accepting these cryptocurrencies, but that's only a trick to find out a more effective way to make life tough for traders. A perfect example of the government speaking from both sides of their mouth is Christine Lagarde, the current president of the European Central Bank. In 2018, she referred to digital currency as the winds of change, and everyone felt like this was very high praise for the coins. But in 2021, she said something completely different. Christine claimed that Bitcoin helps in money laundering, and that's a full cycle from where she was 3 years ago. Most governments in the West have this on-again, off-again relationship with cryptocurrency, a trait they share with China. It's almost like they're saying that they think cryptocurrency is great, but you shouldn't hold some types, and they want to know all about it. So why do they have these contradictory stances? Well, we believe that they are actually warming to the idea of the coins themselves, but not the possibility that this could give people total financial freedom independent of the government. Still, world governments really want to create a central bank digital currency, and a lot of these countries have gotten started on it. There's the e-yuan, already operational in China. E-krona is in Sweden, and the United States is also working on something. Yes, that's right. Most governments are excited about a central bank digital currency, and here's why. This will give them a lot of insight into how their citizens spend their money. Well, they already do that, but imagine a platform that gives them even more access. The government always wants to know what their citizens are up to financially, and this sort of currency will allow them tax transactions and get rid of fiat cash. There are so many other benefits for the government that we can't get into, but the summary is they like cryptocurrency, but when it's within their control. But they can't exactly force their citizens to accept government-made digital currencies, so they have to make everyone as comfortable as possible with them now by conditioning them into thinking that cryptocurrencies are not as bad as they once thought they were. Then they will relax the regulations just enough to have people calm about using it without disappearing down the cryptocurrency rabbit hole. These are like small trinkets thrown out to the public to make them complacent enough for the arrival of the central bank digital currency. Sounds like a conspiracy theory, right? Well, it's a very real threat, and we have seen it play out in China already. It all started with songs of praises for crypto benefits, and then China releases e-yuan, which was even airdropped to some citizens. Of course, it won't be the same template in the West, but we have top officials talking about how a central bank digital currency is a high priority and would limit the reach of cryptocurrencies that are privately issued. Here's where the real risk comes in. The government could wake up one day and decide to outlaw cryptocurrencies, prohibiting all trades and shutting down every exchange, which would leave only their CBDC in existence. We would be wise to never underestimate the determination of the people in authority to consolidate their powers. And now comes the important question. How effective can a ban on cryptocurrency trading be if it really does happen? Well, most cryptocurrencies are open source, and this makes them decentralized digital currencies. This is the source of some of their greatest power of monopoly. So if the government were to crack down on decentralized exchanges, the response would be to move to peer-to-peer trading and still trade in cryptocurrencies without worries. People could also get in on offshore exchanges, which are not bound by any rules of traditional banks or regular bodies. Basically, the cryptocurrency network is very much like the Hydra that grows 2 more heads every time you chop one off. What this means is that the blockchain clock will keep on ticking irrespective of a ban, but we can't rule out a completely different method that the government could come up with to make this effective. Let's take a look at China again. This is a country with some of the most advanced internet firewalls you would ever find anywhere in the world. They have all the resources at their disposal to clamp down on cryptocurrency trading, but their Bitcoin trading ban was quite ineffective. Most traders moved to peer-to-peer exchanges and bought their coins on offshore exchanges as well. If China could have this much trouble with stopping crypto trading, then other countries with less developed internet security infrastructures have no chance at making this happen either. Looking at it objectively, it is close to impossible for governments to fully ban Bitcoin, so they may try a different approach instead. One way is to allow these cryptocurrencies to keep existing, but alongside their central bank digital currency. So it would be much harder to use Bitcoin or Ethereum compared to theirs, and we'll just have to see how much people would be willing to hold on. From the look of things, cryptocurrency is a digital coin that is here to stay. That doesn't eliminate the fact that there are threats to its existence. We'll just have to wait to find out just how serious these hidden threats are and how cryptocurrencies will function in about a decade from now. And there you have it. These are some of the hidden threats to cryptocurrencies. Do you think cryptocurrencies have what it takes to survive any possible threat now and in the future? Let me know in the comments. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching.